From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather tonight.
Now that the evening storms are settling on down, we're going to be quiet tonight. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy toward daybreak. Temperatures between the mid-50s to the lower 60s. South winds starting to pick up, and then it's going to be windy, warm, and partly sunny for Friday. Daytime highs well up into the 70s. Upper 70s to lower 80s likely. Strong south winds tomorrow, sustained to 15 to 20, maybe gusts as high as 30. Now watch off to the west once we get 7, 8 o'clock. Futurecast developing those supercell thunderstorms after 7, 8 o'clock off to the west of us over North Mississippi, West Tennessee. After 9 or 10 o'clock, we will have to watch for that potential in our area. Now, Futurecast not too gung-ho on it, but other models do show a few supercells in here. The question is how the capping inversion works. There's a layer of warm air tomorrow night, about 7,000 to 10,000 feet above the ground, that keeps the lid on thunderstorms, but there's some rising motion, and they're going to be competing with each other, but the rising motion pulls away with time with the first round before the main event Saturday. Now, that capping inversion is one of the things that makes the Saturday threat more volatile and more significant, because it puts a lid on the morning and lets the instability in the juice and the fuel build until storms develop midday and afternoon. But the capping overnight, tomorrow night, may keep a lid on it so that we don't get too much development. It may be north of our area, but if there's a sustained storm in our region of southern middle Tennessee, northwest Alabama, northeast Mississippi overnight tomorrow night, it could be one of those supercell thunderstorms. We're not looking at a line of thunderstorms really. There may be a few supercells. And if we get one or two, they could have a strong type tornado that's EF2 or greater on the intensity scale. So it's a questionable threat, but the potential intensity of the threat is significant. So that's why, even though it's a big question mark, there still has to be an elevated risk in place. So we're going to have to watch out after 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow night on through about daybreak. The bigger risk comes Saturday from late morning or midday through the afternoon until the late evening. For right now, until we get the highest resolution data in the final 24 hours before this, we're going with the long time frame of 10 a.m. Saturday morning to 10 p.m. Saturday evening. And we may not be able to shorten that window too much, because this is not one little line of thunderstorms that moves through in 2 hours and your threat is over. We will have these individual scattered supercell thunderstorms moving through that are off by themselves at random, kind of like pop mark random things. Not everyone gets them, so I can't give you a 1 hour time window a day or two in advance. I can give you that overall window when they're possible of 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The supercells are the main event we have to watch for. And then a final line on the cold front during the late evening. Supercells have the potential for not just damaging winds, hail, and flooding, but a heightened tornado risk, including a few long track, fast moving, intense upper end type tornadoes possible. Now, what we're showing you with this red area on here, that's not that 1 through 5 scale that Storm Prediction Center uses. We're simplifying that just to make it easier to understand. It doesn't matter if you're in a level 3 risk or a level 4 risk, or if it gets upgraded to a level 5 risk. This doesn't disagree with the SPC, but what this does is it simplifies the message to let you know, just know that red means significant risk, and what that is, that means that that's where the highest risk of those long track strong tornadoes will be. That's all you need to know. The red zones, that's the highest risk of the long track strong to violent tornadoes. That's all of North Alabama, northeast and central Mississippi, up into southern middle Tennessee. Now, north of that in orange, there could still be 1 or 2 of that type of tornado, but the higher risk is in red. But we have been seeing data all day that suggests that red area may need to stretch a little northward a little bit, and we'll be evaluating that overnight tonight and through tomorrow morning. Once we get into the final 24 hours of this and we look at data tomorrow, by the time I'm here live at 5 on Friday afternoon, we may have to draw a purple area in this map that represents the potential for violent tornadoes. That's the upper end scale. Those are the ones that are above EF3. in intensity. That may be the type of day we have on Saturday, and there could be more than one tornado that's that strong somewhere in the red area. We'll have to see how that plays out. Now, a lot of people ask when we start messaging things like this, is this April 27th and things like that? The answer is it does not matter. That should not affect the way you prepare for an event like this, because it doesn't matter if it's a big outbreak with 62 tornadoes or if it's just one big tornado that rolls down your street. If you're the one affected, it's your April 27th. The real answer to that question is no, it does not look like that day back in 2011, but it doesn't have to be. And honestly speaking, even though it does not look like 2011 again, it could be the most significant tornado threat we've had since then. This is a serious situation we need to take very seriously and carefully. You have to have your plan in place, multiple reliable ways of hearing warnings, know where your safe place is in advance that doesn't include mobile homes, and something sturdy to protect your head and neck from flying debris. Overnight forecast, we're quiet. Things settling down, partly cloudy skies overnight. Morning lows between 55 and 60 across the area, depending on where you are. Daytime hours of Friday are quiet as a church mouse, except for the windy conditions. The background winds out of the south, bringing the humid, unstable air in, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. But otherwise, partly cloudy. Daytime highs upper 70s, lower 80s. It's the overnight. After 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow night, on through sunrise, where we watch for round one of the possibility, uncertain possibility, but possibility of severe thunderstorms that does include a tornado threat. The higher threat, the major threat, the high impact type situation is Saturday from late morning, midday through the afternoon, through the late evening, roughly from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's the window. And again, this is a high impact situation that may include a few long track, strong to violent upper end type tornadoes. You need to be ready for this. Take our tone, our urgency seriously, because we don't take this tone often, because we don't alarm you necessarily. And if you've watched this for a few years, you know that this is one of those days where it does look to be necessary. We hope the forecast is wrong, not because we want to get attention out in advance and then nothing happens, but because we don't want damaging storms to happen to affect our community. We hope it doesn't materialize the way it thinks it does, but the closer we get, the more the question marks aren't really question marks anymore, and this is looking like the real deal. So that's why we urge you to take this seriously. Don't be scared of it. Be prepared for it, and we will get through it together. Calming Sunday into Monday, a little cooler. Midweek storm chance around Wednesday, Not sure if it will be severe. Let's get through this first weekend system, and we'll look at that in detail Sunday or so, but we'll watch it carefully. We are in spring severe weather season. There's look your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 4 a.m. It's going to be a quick pre-recorded wake-up weather just to get you through the wake-up hours. Ben and Kelly will be here live in studio at 7 a.m. with a full forecast breakdown, including fresh information on the storm threat from data that's come in from the overnight.